Hello, thanks for being with me today. My name is Lorenzo and I'll be your host for today to show you the new integration that was developed by Loway between our QueueMetrics call center monitoring system and FusionPBX. So let's get started. Let's have a look at our FusionPBX where we configured a very basic call center. So we have a few queues that we can see from the application call centers. We have defined a few queues and we have defined a few agents for them. At the moment, all of them are logged off. So let's see what happens in this case where we want to, for example, to change the visibility of an agent. We go to QueueMetrics, we go to the wallboard. The wallboard is a customizable page. In this case, I customized it so I can see the status of current agents and current calls, of which there are at the moment none, but we go back to Fusion and we decide that we want to set all of them to available. We save, we go back to QueueMetrics, and there they are. You can see for each agent, when they logged on, the queues they are working on are supposed at least to be working on, and their current status. If we go to Fusion and set them to pause or log them off, let's say we want to pause this agent and we want to log off this other one, we just save, go back to QueueMetrics, and the status will be updated. As you can see, this agent is on pause 998 and it is showing you the time when the pause started, while this agent is available. You can see that for all of the agents at once, at a glance, you can see the calls that they are supposed to be working on. So it is very easy to keep track immediately. Plus, we get a number of indicators, of gauges, that are telling us about the current status of the system. Now, let's try sending in a call, an inbound call that goes to a queue, and see what happens. I'm calling from one extension to one of the queues. You can hear it's ringing, I think, so I can pick this up. Okay, and now you can see that there is a call, and now you can see that the call also is connected. You can also see that the status of the agent changed, so it says that he's talking, so because they are in conversation. So this was toggled immediately. You can also see a number of other statistics about how the day went, and all of they update in real time, so you can also have a complete view of the system. You could also get a similar view in Fusion, but it would be, I'd say, a bit more complex because you would have to go to Active Call Center, select the correct queue, but maybe you don't know if you have more than one, and then you can see the call that is active. At the same time, to see the status of an agent, you would have to go to the agent status and check it, but from here you don't see, for example, the queues they're supposed to be working on. So I believe that to manage a contact center using QueueMetrics is quite a bit easier. While we have an open call, there is more we can do than just looking at it, because as we have an open call, we can do actions on it. So we select call actions, and we can do a number of things. Of course, we can hang up the call, we can monitor the call, so we have different ways to monitor, so we can just listen to the call as it is ongoing, speak to the agent or speak to both parties at once, and you can transfer the call to a different extension. Another thing that you would not be able to do on a normal FusionPBX system is to track outbound calls that are made by your agents. So let's see how it happens. Imagine that your agent 998 is placing an outbound call. In this case, we're going to call a different extension, but it could be, of course, any number, especially a PSTN number. The call is ringing, and we can see that it showed up in QueueMetrics as if it was happening on a call called outbound. The call connects, and we can see that the agent temporarily is added to a call called outbound. So everything works as if they logged on a specific queue called outbound, and they were and somebody was calling in. But of course, the direction is opposite. This is something that you would not be able to do by doing normal outbound on a system. There are more options to perform outbound, but we're going to see more detail later in a separate video. Of course, you can do all the actions that you saw can be done on outbound calls as well. As QueueMetrics is devoted to reporting and historically was born for reporting, not just real time, but especially what happened in a specific period, there are a lot of ways you can get information out of the calls that you just made. They work perfectly on Fusion, so you can see. Of course, QueueMetrics was made to do accurate reporting of what went on in your call center, so it's not just the live calls as we saw today, but of course there is a lot for reports. So if you go to reports, for example, you can see a lot of information. There are about 200 data blocks that you can choose. I'm just going to really go very quickly, but you can see that there is a lot of information. You can see exact details of all the calls, what happened, and all the information about them, about agent session, about calls that were not answered, that agents not picking up the phone. So there is a real lot of information. You can also export all these reports and have them sent over to you by email. So I'm glad you could make it and be here with me today. And there will be more videos that will go into more details. So see you next time for more information about the way you can handle calls from the agent point of view in QueueMetrics. Thank you.